Are you looking to build a Queza, Augur of Agonies commander deck, but you're not quite sure where to start? Well, I'm here to help. My name is Capital G, and welcome to the first 10. Brand spanking new from New Capenna, Queza, Augur of Agonies. Black, blue, white, and one for this 3/4 Cephalid Advisor. Oh, it's an advisor. That means we can do mill strategies and concepts. Anyways, whenever we draw a card, target opponent loses a life and we gain a life. So it wants us to draw cards and it wants us to drain our opponents for it. So we're playing sort of a life gain, life drain Punisher style of deck with this. So here on the first 10, of course, I'd like to highlight the first 10 cards that we want to put into such a deck. And what I am proposing is that we take advantage of life gain triggers and synergies in order to, make this work, because we've got 3 opponents with 100 card decks and 40 life each. So just drawing cards naturally, we would not be able to drain out our opponents one by one. We have to accelerate that process in various ways. So that is why we will start with again, things that trigger off of us gaining life, such as the Cliff Haven Vampire, where whenever we gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. Not the only example of this ability, by the way. Be sure to look around and see what you can find. Some of them only hit 1 opponent, some can hit all of your opponents. It's not the only payoff we can get for gaining life. Crested Sun Mare is a great payoff for getting humongous 5/5 horse tokens at the beginning of each end step where we have gained life. And those other horses have indestructible, so as long as we can keep this protected, we're going to have an army of 5/5s, smashing our opponents and punishing them. We definitely want to draw cards, so let's look at how else we can draw cards. Things like Ledger Shredder. This is one of the New Capenna rares, and I like this one. 2 mana for a 1/3 Bird Advisor with flying. And whenever a player casts their second spell each turn, it could be yourself or your opponent's. Ledger Shredder Connives, which means you get to draw a card, then discard a card, and if you've discarded an online card, it gets a +1/+1 counter. Also, I don't care what we're discarding. I don't care too much about the counters, just about the extra card draw. That's all we care about here. One other creature I want to highlight is the Oswald Fiddlebender. Because there are some really cool artifacts that we want to be playing in this deck, and Oswald can help us go get them. Oswald, of course, says white, tap, sack an artifact, go get an artifact with mana value equal to 1 plus the sacrificed artifact's mana value, put it onto the battlefield. So what are we looking for? Well, we're going to be looking for Crucible Worlds. We're going to be playing land cards from our graveyard. Why would we want to look for that? Because of the new land cycle that we have in New Capenna. In concept, we can run all 5 of these. I'm just showing off the Obscura Starfront, as this can go get any of our relevant basics. But in concept, you can run all 5 and always be able to get a basic with it. So Crucible Worlds plus this means we're not only fetching lands from our deck, but hey, we also gain life for doing this. 1 life a shot, which triggers the rest of our abilities. So don't sleep on these. They don't look great at first. If you're looking at just fetching a land when you need it, Evolving Wilds is probably better. But as long as you're playing more than 2 allied colors, then these things are fantastic, I think. Another artifact that we want to get, by the way, is the Tafaris Puzzle Box. Not the first time I've touched upon this card in this series. We're not running the evil combo with Narset here. We could, but that's not why it's here. Even on its own, this lets us draw multiple cards a turn, triggering our commander multiple times, but without without thinning our deck too quickly. So I mean, imagine you've got a hand of 5. You draw your card for the turn 6, put them all on the bottom of your library, and draw 6 new cards. Well, you've just triggered your commander 7 times in total. and you've only gone one, it's essentially one card deeper into your deck than you had previously. One more 4-cost artifact that is really, really spicy in here. You already see this card a fair bit. It's kind of lost its luster over the years. But we'll have lost dreams, people. Whenever you gain life, you may pay X, where X is less than or equal to the amount of life you've gained. If you do, draw X cards. Our commander gives us a life every time we draw a card. So, we draw a card for the turn. Our commander triggers, we pay 1, draw another card, triggers again, pay 1, draw another card. You see where I'm going? So, you can draw as few or as many cards as you want with this, depending on what you're digging for and what you need to do. So this is the spice in this deck. Couple other cards I want to suggest. There's got a really cool enchantment. Now, we were talking about lands earlier. I showed off Crucible Worlds and the Obscura storefront. Retreat to Hagra. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you've got a couple cool modes, but the one I care about is the second one. Each opponent loses a life and you gain a life, just from playing lands. So, another reason to run Crucible and to run the Obscura storefront and all of its siblings in this deck. Last card, our card number 10, is going to be Void Rend. It can't be countered, destroy a non-land permanent. The mana cost is a little awkward at black, blue, white, but totally worth it, because if a combo piece needs to go, this is gonna get it, no questions asked. And for the first time on the first 10, a bonus card. So let's go back to Obscura storefront, and I've mentioned this in a previous video of Carve the Lion, but if you are running these cards and you're also happen to be running, say, Urborg, well, you can tap these things for a mana in response to the trigger, so you don't actually lose any tempo as long as you or somebody has an Urborg out. So, just saying, like those, like I said, I call them the. We need to find a proper name for these lands, but I think they're quite the combo piece, especially with the likes of Urborg and Yavimaya. So. Just wanted to make sure that you were all aware of that. And that, my friends, is the Queza deck. I hope you all enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time. I've got a new full-length deck tech coming up very soon. Again, heavily featuring New Capenna, so I'm excited to see you around for that one. So come on in, and we'll catch you later. Bye for now.